All right, traders, this is our 7th green day in a row. If you ended up following the trading plan in the video that I posted, I had clearly stated that if the SPY gaps down, and it was supposed to gap down based off the daily pattern that I pointed out, you're going to want to short the market and buy put options when it goes back up to fill the gap at 448.45. As you can see in terms of our trading plan posted last night, it visually says if SPY gaps down, we will look for puts at the pre-market highs, which was the morning highs, and I did hit puts at the pre-market highs, and I also hit puts at my second key level, which was the gap at 448.45. At the time, both of those levels were the exact high of day. And if you go to the polls, we are breaking records. We had 77 people green today. Nobody went red, man. It is absolutely amazing what we are able to do with the right price action trading strategies. G-Roar ended up doing puts as the SPY was, crashing from the gap. He made a 120% profit return very, very quickly on SPX puts. He's up over 6 figures alone on the day. He went 8 for 8, alerted all of his trades in real time. Dimitri, another multimillionaire within Trader Society, alerted multiple trades within Trader Society, and this is all posted, it's all shared. I don't have the time to cover all this. He made over $7,000 in profit. For those of you who are in the SPY floor, you are well aware of what's going on, and it is truly amazing what we are able to do. So here's the deal. I'm going to go over the key levels, the trade recaps, then we're going to get into the plan. What is the trading plan for CPI? Because as you know, we don't flip a coin through CPI. We wait for the bull or bear trap to get created, and then we take advantage of that trap once it goes back to the retest level. So I will share with you my new upcoming trading plan. I will continue to prepare you to trade the best setups of those prices. I will continue to show you how I create my key levels and how we crush the market on a regular basis. Let's get straight into the analysis. So if you went back to yesterday's video, I explained to you the daily pattern on why we were supposed to gap down. And I made it very, very clear. If the SPY gaps down, we are going to look to buy put options at the pre-market highs. When SPY tested the pre-market highs right here, it ended up pulling back. So when it spiked back up right here, I alerted puts in real time. That was my first trade on the day, alerted real time with it, might have scored, absolutely banked on that. And I also told you guys, once we go back to fill the gap, you're going to want to play puts for the reversal, which was the exact second high of the day at the time and the exact high. So those trading strategies worked. The plan worked out to a T. We will continue to focus on using the daily patterns to get some perspective on what will happen the next day and look for confirmations to repeat itself. When SPY is gapping down and selling off hard, we will continue to focus on put options and shorting the market when SPY goes back to close the gap, and we will also show some interest at the pre-market highs. Those are the best trades that were made today. I did also end up alerting calls. My key level for calls, as you can see right here, man, let's go over this. Every single key level and update that I gave out was 100% spot on T. And it's not just me. Dimitri had his own unique trades. G-Roar had his own unique trades. They all crushed it. Dimitri made $7,000. G-Roar made over 100K. They're crushing it, man. Look at this. Look at what I said right here. At 2:43 p.m., the best level for calls is at the gap, 445.51. Remember how I told you if the SPY is getting crushed, it's going to try to have a reversal. It's going to try to recover. So I was interested in calls. This is my updated level at 445.51. I bought calls 2 times towards that dip. Made a very, very nice profit, $1,500 very, very quickly. G-Roar ended up doing it 3 times. He made over 5 figures alone just off those 3 trades. We kept scalping calls at the gap. As you know, if the SPY is going to have a gap close reversal, it's going to continue to try to have gap close reversals. So what we did in a sense, if you go to the chart right here, you can visually see the SPY filled the gap at 448.45. We played the puts, and then there was a gap that's waiting to fill below at 445.54. So I told my team, when this goes back to the gap, it's going to be the best level possible to buy calls. They're going to try to turn this previous resistance level into a support level, and it's going to try to reverse. So once the gap began to fill at that level, I alerted calls twice, and I told my team it is very high probability that these 446 calls that we were buying 40-50 cents out of the money when we were buying towards the lows right here as it was looking bearish are going to go back in the money. And surely enough, those calls went back in the money. When you see SPY slanting like this, and then it begins to form these green candles, start forming some support here, it's going to try to reverse, and it is going to try to explode back up to in the money, which is why we're buying calls for the gap close reversal. Every single level and analysis that I had stated worked out to an exact T. I also had puts at another key level towards 447.40. I ended up making money on that as well. This was our best trading day within the past 7 days. We just keep on getting better and we keep on growing stronger. And that's what a team does within Trader Society. So what is the game plan heading into tomorrow? CPI is very, very simple. This is how I play CPI. I basically do the same thing over and over again with the CPI. So first things first, I'm going to share with you my CPI trading plan. Then I will share with you my newly updated key levels. So let's get straight into it. So in terms of CPI, this is how I do it. If the SPY has a big move up, it has a big spike, it has a big gap up, I wait for an opportunity for puts because I like buying my puts when SPY's at key resistance levels in the best level for puts, and we'll be going over those levels. So let's say the SPY has a big spike, right? So let's say the SPY has a big spike like this. What do? You wait for a pullback. You wait for it to pull back, and that you're looking for a nice pullback. That nice pullback is going to occur in the pre-market or during market open. That's when it's going to start to occur. And then you wait for it to spike back up. Now you know where the support is. The support is going to be right here. So once the SPY cracks that support level, and you're going to want to look for a big sell-off when you identify the consolidation and the crack of the support level, that is going to be the level where the bulls just got trapped because they chased. So what you're going to want to do from there is wait for it to spike back up. When it goes back up to this previous support, it's going to try to react as a resistance, react as a new lower high. That's where we short the SPY. We will identify that level if the SPY gaps up tomorrow during the pre-market at market open or during normal trading hours, whenever it decides to happen when the bulls get trapped within Trader Society. But that is what we're going to look to do. And then we buy the puts there, and then we start to sell them in the money for the profit very, very quickly. Now, if the SPY ends up gapping down, this is what we're going to do. So if the SPY gaps down, let's say it has a sharp move down, it's going to bounce. And then it's going to form some resistance, right? So once it bounces and then it has a small pullback, we know where the resistance is. So what we do from there is we wait for the SPY to have a nice breakout above that resistance, right? And then when it drops back down to that previous resistance level, that is going to be where they try to form the higher support. They're going to try to turn this previous resistance level into a support level, and that's what they're going to try to do in that sense, forming the higher support, turning previous resistance into new support because the SPY had a nice breakout. So we will look to buy call options on the retest of that previous resistance level and then sell into the spike. That is how we play CPI. It is very, very simple. Now, let's discuss the new key levels and the new trading strategies and the new price ladder. So let's get straight into this. In terms of the SPY closed at 446. What do you need to understand about 446? You need to understand this is a critical level. This is very, very crucial. Look at this level, man. If you just look at the chart, man, look at how crazy of a level this 446 level truly is. Take a look at this, man. Right here, the high of this towards the high of this is at like 446. Yeah, so look at this, man. 446. This used to be very, very strong resistance on the SPY. It triggered an absolutely crazy crash. If 446 reacts as a resistance, we're going to see a nice pullback. Now, if 446 reacts as a support, it's going to start to uptrend a little bit. Now, what am I disliking about 446 in terms of calls? I kind of dislike this 446 level for buying calls at the moment because the SPY has closed the gap and it's beginning to reverse and it's beginning to form lower highs. So if the bulls cannot break above this 446 and turn that into a resistance level, we will start to see a drop. So mainly due to those reasons, I'm not quite too interested in buying calls at 446 unless the SPY has a big gap up. If it has a big gap up tomorrow and it drops back down to 446, I'll try some calls with a very, very tight stop loss. The same way we played the gap close reversal for calls right here when we were waiting to buy SPY at the gap at 445.60, right? So if the SPY is having a big gap up, I explained to you how I will do the puts, right? Using the CPI strategy. And if we do have a big gap up, I'll be interested in buying calls at 446. If SPY gaps down, I have zero interest in doing calls at 446. If SPY gaps down, I will look for puts towards that 446 level with an overall tight stop loss. You just need to understand the SPY closed the gap at 448.45 and it began to have a reversal. It began to sell off, which is bearish. So this is make or break. And you just need to visually understand that if 446 reacts as a floor, the SPY is going to go bullish. And it will try to react as a floor if the SPY gaps up. If 446 cracks and reacts as a resistance, then it's going to go super bearish. And it will definitely try to do that if it gaps down. So just understand that, right? Now, what do we need to understand for calls? The levels of interest for calls, I'm going to be breaking that down for you. This will be our true key levels of interest for calls, especially if the SPY is gapping down or if 446 reacts bearish. So in terms of your true best levels, we have a lot of support right here at 444, and the SPY is going to try to bounce towards 444 to 440.50. Initially, it will try to bounce at that zone. And again, I'm not speaking for CPI. I'm talking about after, okay? I'm not trying to predict anything with CPI. I don't flip coins, but it will try to bounce. Again, I'm speaking for after CPI, after 8:30 a.m. It will try to bounce at 444 to 440.50. I don't value that to be my best level for calls. I like the more lower and oversold levels. So these are my favorite levels for call options that should work phenomenally. We have key support right here at 442.80. It has not been tested. This is very strong support. I am interested in buying calls here with a super tight stop. I don't value that to be my best level though, because this previous resistance at 443 already reacted as support. It already played out in a sense. It will likely try to bounce at 443. This could even bounce at 444. But like I said, man, if 446 reacts as a resistance and SPY's already having a bearish gap close reversal, the best thing we could do is focus on calls at the oversold levels. And in terms of the puts, I explained to you how we're planning to do puts 446, and we'll go over higher levels in case it gaps up, right? Soon. But in terms of my calls, the true best levels that you can wait. You just wait for, right? It's not about, oh, when are these levels going to hit, Will? It's more about just wait for the level to hit, set your price alert, trade the best steps of his prices. If I were to point you in the best direction possible for call options, it would be this. These would be the best oversold levels that have not been tested yet. They are special because they have not been tested yet. It works best when you trade a level that has not been tested yet. The gap at 448.85 was not tested yet. If SPY is going to sell off at the pre-market highs, you better believe me, it's going to try to sell off when it hits an even a higher level at the gap, right? You need to be going with levels that have not been tested yet. So the levels for calls that have not been tested yet are going to be these two levels. $441, this is very strong support. It should bounce initially off this level. Right here, there's a gap that is waiting to fill below. $440, oversold gap close reversal, one of the lowest gaps that's going to fill within time. Those are your true best levels for calls. Wait to trade the best setups at the best prices, and you should see phenomenal results. The other levels that I'm giving out, you have to be a lot more experienced. You have to be a lot more professional. You're going to want a bigger bankroll as well. You have to be very strategic and very sharp. These plays that I'm giving you that have not been tested, these are like the no-brainer, easy money plays, your best chance possible in succeeding, especially if you are just starting out. So those are my levels for calls. Now, let's talk about puts. So in terms of puts, if we gap down, I will show some interest at 446 gap. I will, with a very, very tight stop, right? You just need to understand if 446 reacts as a resistance, it's going to go bearish. 446 reacts as support, it's going to go bullish, right? Just understand the SPY is trying to go bearish because it closed the gap at 448.45. But this is a very important point that I kind of left out in this video. So for those of you who watch these to the end, you get rewarded with the best information. So just understand. It filled the gap right here. It had a reversal. It's trying to go bearish. But it also closed the gap right here at 445.50. So it's trying to react bullish. So this is what I need you to understand. For the bulls to maintain in control, they need to hold 445.50. If they can't hold that, then we're going to start to see a drop. For the bulls to truly flip it bullish, they need to break above 446. They need to break above 446, turn into support. If they cannot do it, we're going to start to drop. In terms of the bears, all the bears really have to do is maintain under 446. If we maintain under 446, the SPY will drop. So that's the zone. And you just need to understand if it's forming a floor or if it's forming a roof at that zone. Very, very simple to identify if you know how to trade price action, which is what we do. We trade candlesticks. Now, in terms of our puts, if the SPY gaps up and it's going super bullish, what are our best levels for puts? Very, very simple. We have 3 levels for put options. We have a gap that has still not filled yet right here at 449.25. That'll be our first key level for puts, right? Our next level for puts is going to be 451.20. Our level after that is going to be 453. Right here, we have a gap this way in to fill. It's going to try to reverse the gap at 449.20. Right here, we have a gap this way in to fill. It's going to try to reverse off the gap at 451.20. Right here, we have strong resistance that has not been tested at 453.50. It'll try to drop there first. Those are the best levels. Those are the best setups. Those are the best prices. Now, I'm going to give you a quick price ladder for tomorrow. If one of these levels reacts as a support level, reacts as a floor, it's going to spike up to the next level. If one of these levels reacts as a resistance level, reacts as a roof, it's going to spike down to the next level. We trade one level at a time. We sell into the move, into the profit target. We scalp very, very quickly. My style of trading is to scalp very, very quickly, usually short-term expirations or sometimes multiple expirations, and I stay at the money or barely out of the money. The furthest I will go in terms of going out of the money on a contract is 40 cents. So let's say I'm buying puts on SPY at 446 and the SPY is at 446.40. That means I'm 40 cents out of the money if I buy puts, 40 cents out of the money if I'm buying puts in that situation. It needs to drop 40 cents for my puts to go in the money. The furthest I will go out of the money is 40 cents. If the SPY is not aligned with that 40 cent move, then I go in the money to protect my contracts and I scalp super quickly. Within Trader Society, you saw Dimitri do it. If you were in the chat, you saw me post his TD Ameritrade profits. He posted everything. You saw this guy alert his trades within 2 minutes. He's making $1,500, $2,000 profit while looking at commercial real estate with his wife on his phone, making $2,000 in a couple of minutes, alerting it real time within the Discord. How much value and how much skill set can one possibly have? That's what's out there, man. And that's what we have within Trader Society. If you're in the chat, you saw him do it. So in terms of the price ladder, this is going to be it. 453.50. This is great resistance that has not been tested yet. We're interested in doing puts there. There's a gap that's still waiting to fill at 451.20. That's a great level to try puts on. Next level below that is going to be 449.17. That's going to be the lower gap. We're interested in doing puts there. This previous support, this previous floor has still not been tested yet, and it's going to try to react as a resistance. Now, in terms of under that, what's the next level below that? If it goes under 449.20, our next level below that is basically going to be like 446.80. I'm not interested in trading at that level. The next level under that is 446. That is make or break, my friends. 446 is make or break. To go bullish, it has to break above, form support. To go bearish, it has to maintain under, and then it will go bearish. Just understand, SPY right now is at an oversold gap, and it's trying to reverse, which is technically bullish. But if it cannot break above 446 and react to support, then it free falls. Just understand, if you just visually look at the chart, 446 support, 449 gap. Where would you buy puts? Would you buy puts at 446 or would you buy puts at 449? We are buying puts at the exact top, but we know it's not the best level to be buying puts here, but it could be if it reacts bearish, so we'll keep our eyes on it. We are simply looking to identify if 446 to 445.50 is reacting as a bullish or bearish zone. The reality is, if it breaks out, reacts to support, we go super bullish. If they cannot turn 446 into support, we crack and we go a little bit bearish. What is under 446 to 445.50? The next support level is going to be right here at 444.50 to 444. The SPY will try to bounce. I don't consider that to be a best level and a key level of interest, but I'll keep my eyes on it, right? I trade price action. If I see a pattern at a level that's not the best, I value that as a lotto trade with smaller size that I might consider taking. Not the best at a best price. Our next level is going to be 442.70. This is a good level, but it's not the best. This is key support where a very strong bear trap was triggered where SPY literally spiked from 442.75 all the way to $445 almost very, very quickly. So that is key support that will try to bounce first. I like that level. Now, our true best levels under that, these are the ones that should work absolutely phenomenally. You just got to wait to trade the best setups, best prices. What is the rush? What is the rush? Compound your account. Respect risk management, respect position sizing, and respect the key levels that I give you and identify if they're reacting bullish or bearish. And you already know in advance if you should be bullish or bearish at a specific key level. And sometimes it's more of a battle in between where you have to kind of determine if it's going to be bullish or bearish. But these are the bullish levels where we want to buy calls for sure. 441, key support that has not been tested. 440, gap close reversal. If you see the SPY, forming a bullish daily candlestick or a trend reversal candlestick, right before the market is closing at 440 to 441, that's confirmation to swing trade call options. If you see the SPY forming a bearish daily candlestick or a trend reversal candlestick right before the market closes at 449, 451, 453, that is confirmation to swing trade puts. That is my overall analysis. We will continue to absolutely crush the market. I am performing at my absolute best because I am making a lot of sacrifices in my life. And that's what it takes to get to the top if you do want to get there, man. I'm going all in on myself and on my team. And I know what it is that we are capable of doing, and we will continue to maintain consistent. The reason why I'm able to be so consistent and the reason why I'm performing at my absolute best is because I cut off a lot of bad habits. I'm no longer, drinking alcohol like twice a week like I normally would. And I'm no longer interested in having a bunch of friends and socializing and all this other stuff. I'm focused and going all in on myself and on my team. That is the current situation and position that I'm in my life, and I'm going all fucking in on it. If you want to be a part of Traders Society, it is going to be the first link down below within the description. I'm telling you, friends, when I try my hardest, being red is literally a choice on the day. As long as I'm performing, like I should and doing the things that I'm supposed to do, and maintaining that discipline, which I'm finding very easy to do when I cut off all the bad habits and I'm focused and I'm locked in, which is a choice to perform that way. It's a choice. Once you have the skill set, it's a choice to behave and perform that way. I'm absolutely crushing it. And I will continue to crush it within the market. I've never been more driven, and the team that I have and the people that I've surrounded myself have truly made me dedicated to doing what it is that I'm doing. I want to give a big shout out to G-Roy. He has pushed me a lot, and I want to give a big shout out to Dimitri. The polls and the results are speaking for themselves. If you want to join Trader Society, this is the best time to join. It is a one-time fee, and you are getting lifetime access. And I want you to understand, man, as of now, I'm selling this team so short. This is a program, if I wanted to, I can charge $1,500 for this. I can charge $2,000 for this. The price only goes up. This is the best time to join. This is the best price you will ever see it at. We do not give discounts. We do not give coupon codes. And like I said, as time goes on, the price only gives up. It is my decision to decide if I want to take this to a high ticket program and to make this a lot more expensive. As of now, it is affordable to the masses, but the price will continue to go up. This is the best time to get in. It's the first link down below in the description. Everything is explained in terms of what you get, which is the Discord server. You get the SPY floor, where there is over 4 multi-millionaires alerting their trades in real time every single week, sharing their trades in real time. G-Roar is the absolute best. You will get to know him. He helped change my life, and we are on a team together now. Dimitri is truly amazing in terms of the scalps that he's been doing. He just got back from vacation in Bahamas. He's absolutely destroying it. And you get access to all of my key levels. These are the updates, right? So if you look at the updates, man, this is all alerted in real time. I gave him the best level for calls. In the SPY floor, we alert all my trades. If you're wondering, well, Will, where's your real-time alerts? Will, where's your trades? Where's the moderators alerts? It's all in the SPY floor. Everything I'm saying is real. It's all happening. You can search it. If you're in the Discord, you saw it in real time. You can search. I don't have the time to go through everything. If I wanted to, I could pull it out. I can get it all organized. Look, man, I got a lot of things to do. It is all in that floor. If you are in the Discord, you know it's real. If you watch my videos, you know it's real. You're already making a lot of money before you even join. You should have made back multiple times the cost of what I charged before you even joined the program, which is another reason why I should charge a lot more. People think I'm crazy for not charging like $1,500 to $2,000 for this. So as time goes on, if I decide to make that decision, I will raise the price and I will make it that much. As of now, this is the best deal and the best time to join. You get access to Discord, the SPY trading floor, the key levels, the real-time trades, the video lesson library, which teaches you price action, risk management, the unique price action trading strategies that I created, psychology. It's all in there. It's the first link down below in the description. We will absolutely crush the market tomorrow. I will see you guys till then.